Hello everyone, my name is Dai Kang. I'm a recent graduate from KAIST. Today I'm presenting TuneNote, Improving Communication in Computational Notebooks Using Interactive Data Comics. This is the joint work with Tony Ho, Nikolai Marquardt, Bilge Mutlu, and Andrea Bianchi. Computational notebooks became popular among data analysts because they allow them to interactively document and share analyst procedures and findings with other analysts. The notebooks usually consist of markdown, code, and output cells. However, the notebook's format, which often contains exploratory data analysis, makes it challenging to comprehend the high-level narrative, the story of the data. We hypothesized that this issue could be addressed by converting the notebook into a data comic. Data comics combine annotations with visualization, reducing data complexity by incrementally showing aspects of data over multiple frames. Previous data comics have all been static. Integration with the computational notebook, as well as usefulness for data analysts, have not been investigated either. To evaluate possible benefits of data comics for data analysts and drawbacks of the standard computational notebook format, we performed an online survey and semi-structured interview against 12 data analysts. We showed the curated, detailed, and comic documents in random order. The curated document consists of one final output and one code cell without intermediate steps. The detailed document includes the same markdown and code as the curated document, but also shows the intermediate steps. The comic document is a comic made of annotated images from the other documents. From the study, we learned that data analysts value the comprehensibility of the comic notebooks. However, their feedback suggests that ideal format would be a data comic that integrated the capabilities of the computational notebook. Based on these findings, we developed a Jupyter Lab extension called TuneNote. TuneNote enables creation of an interactive data comic from a notebook with features that enable data exploration. TuneNote provides a high-level, curated narrative of the dataset in comic view on top of the typical computational notebook interface. The author can choose different markdown and outputs which can be combined into single or multiple comic frames. When viewing the data in the comic view, readers can focus on data storytelling and not be hindered by code, unnecessary outputs, or markdown, and can switch back to the notebook view when needed. To evaluate the usefulness of the comic view generated by TuneNote, we conducted a within-subject study with 12 data analysts to evaluate the prototype. In the study, we compared the typical notebook view with the generated comic view using two different datasets. We used comics generated by an external data analyst that we recruited to avoid any bias. We conducted an online survey on Zoom. We explained the interactive features participants can use when they are reading the TuneNote-enabled notebook. Toggling, pick code, and undo. Toggling enables viewers to change view mode from notebook view to comic view and vice versa. Using pick code, readers can inspect the code in comic view without changing context by switching to the notebook view completely. Undo resets the comic frame after the user interacts with the content. Each participant was given two notebooks with different datasets, where they were asked to solve 7 questions generated by the author, the previously mentioned external data analyst. Then they answered questions about their experience on Google surveys. After they finished all the tasks, we had semi-structured interview. The results suggest that TuneNote successfully communicates the high-level narrative of the author's insights compared to the notebook view in a more engaging way. The extension was also found to be supportive of data exploration through code and interactive graphs. From the interviews, participants saw the potential and advocated using TuneNote within the collaboration process with non-technical collaborators, for example, executives and domain experts. Even though our participants mentioned the benefit of sharing data comics with non-technical audiences, this is different from receiving feedback from those audience members themselves. Investigating the uses of TuneNote with a wider audience and conducting user studies will be an interesting subject for future work. Also, we supported limited interactions for both authors and readers. For future work, we can investigate ways to automate the authoring process and support more interactions for active reading for readers. Because of the time limit, we were not able to include every detail in this presentation. For further details and more discussions, please look into our paper. Thank you.